Hi, thanks for checking out our video here and our channel. We've got 650 give or take videos on YouTube as of June 2021. So this is when we're doing this video and repair on this one. This one we've worked on probably 4 years ago, I think, somewhere in that range. And we did some work to the board. We put a new put some new light bulbs on it, which are now burnt out. But we also replaced the capacitor as well, and that's about all we did to it. This particular unit is a manufacture date of October of 1984, so I've been around a little while. It tells you the voltage, peak voltage with no load on it was 5.7, with the 500 ohm load was 4.6, and it tells you how often it's pulsing, or how often, how 1.1 seconds, and the pulse time it's actually on the fence is 0.19 seconds, so it's a pretty quick shock. So what this unit's doing is it works, comes on, lights are burned out, which is cosmetic, we can replace those, but that doesn't affect the operation of the unit. But the it has very little to no output, and when it's clicking, it sounds like it's arcing. It sounds a little louder than normal, so we're going to turn it on here. I don't know how familiar you are with these units, but this is a little loud. I mean, these units are fairly loud to start with because their transformer lamination plates are exposed, so they aren't muffled in an epoxy. So these are usually a little louder than normal. So there's the transformer right there. That white thing right here, that's the transformer. Now Gallagher no longer makes this transformer. They discontinued it probably back in 2012. I don't know. It's been a number of years. 2014. I don't know. It's been a few years. So we'll check it again just to make sure. We'll remove the output VDR board, they call it. We'll remove that. Yeah, it still sounds pretty loud. We'll put a tester across it, see what it reads, but I don't think we're going to get very much out of it. Yeah, it's needle's bouncing, but ain't bouncing very much. So we got a bad transformer. Now this board here is fine. Capacitor is fine, I'm sure. The bulbs are burned out. We'll replace those bulbs. The same with these light bulbs are burned out too, but those don't have anything to do with the unit working like it's supposed to. They're just cosmetic, just lights to tell you, hey, something's going on, you know, fix me, or fix something, or test something, or my lights are good, we're good. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to discharge this capacitor. Just take a big resistor, go across it. This will bleed off any energy stored up inside the capacitor. And then we want to unplug 2 wires from the back side of the transformer. I'm going to pop this transformer clamp off there, pull those plates out. Yeah, I see it's burnt right there. It's been arcing for a little while. And this doesn't have a sticker on it, so I would guess this possibly is the original factory one, because if it's been replaced, Gallagher puts a sticker on the side with the part number and date code and all that fun stuff. Serial number of the, or not, yeah, just date code stuff, and when the transformer was built. But this has no sticker on it, so this transformer could be 35, 36 years old. So now we got to find a transformer that will work in this thing, and I've got 2 options for it. So let me go rummage around here and see what we got for a transformer that will work in this thing. Okay, I've got 3. I technically got 4 different transformers I can use inside these things. Both of these are Gallagher transformers for other models, and they will work. I've done it before, but I want to try something different. I'm going to use a Parmak transformer in this thing. I'm going to use a Parmak transformer. I think as long as it will fit, if it will fit, we're going to try it. It's made for a 6+ joule unit, so this is like a 5 output joule, 4.5 output joule unit. So it should, this capacitor or transformer should work as long as the voltage that we get out of the thing is good. If it's not a very good output voltage, then we won't use it. But see, it'll slide right in there. It won't slide in like I want it to because it's too wide. But we'll slide in there. We'll have to put some double-sided foam on here or something to put inside here. But this transformer is for a range message. So this has got 4 wires on it. The transformer had 4 tabs on it. You know, 2 primaries and 2 secondaries. Tabs on there. The big wires are our primary. Secondary output for your fence and ground are these. So we're gonna try this. Now what I need to do is I'm gonna, let's see, because we're gonna learn as we go with this one, because I never used a Parmak transformer inside of a Gallagher unit before, but we're gonna, it's no different than doing another transformer in there, but I want to make, I've never tried one in here, and they seem to be pretty good. They're not super expensive, so give it a whirl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the side of this case. I think I need to make that bigger. Set that like that. Actually, I need to drill 2 holes. So those wires are gonna feed through these holes here. And then we'll trim off what we don't need. And I want all this metal poking out because I don't want something to touch where it shouldn't touch. So I need some wire to extend these longer to make it to be able to attach to the other wires. Now we need to make sure to do, some transformers have a polarity for the coming in and going out, some don't care. I don't know if these are going to care or not. So if we crimp that on there, should be long enough. So we're going to use this red wire here and reuse it, and we're going to let's use a crimp sleeve thing, or not, butt connector, I mean. Slide that through there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll plug this right here. I don't know if this black one's going to be long enough. It may be long enough. Let's see. We're right there. Nope, this is too short. Alright, so we'll have to make our own. Alright, and this goes down. It's going to attach to that tab down there, so we're going to cut it about right there. That's so much crap here on my bench, ridiculous. Plug in right there. The only thing that might happen is we may have to reverse the red and the black wire from the capacitor to this board. We might have to reverse them depending on how this thing performs output wise. Now before we keep going with it, let's just plug this in, this board here, grab my tester here, and we're just going to clip it on to both of these output wires right here, the transformer, and we're going to see what this shows. Plenty. Plenty voltage. Alright, so we'll move that out of the way. We're going to discharge the capacitor again. Alright, so now I'm going to trim up these to make this about that long, so I don't need all this wire poking out. We'll leave all that wire on there, just, I don't know, because we can. Get a couple of male spade connectors. We're going to crimp those on there. Alright, let's, before we get this all mounted back in there, let's replace those bulbs there since they're burned out. The good thing is I can save these little plates so we can use them in something else at some point in time. There's other Gallagher units, other transformers. So now I'm going to desolder and solder in new bulbs. Like I said, this is cosmetic. This won't affect the operation of the unit here. Hold on here, I gotta do something different here. Hold on. Oh, I had to use another soldering iron from a different, the other workbench over there. My soldering iron is throwing a fit right now. At least the iron itself is. Power supply that powers it's fine, but the iron's having trouble. So I'm gonna have to do something different with that one. So I'm desoldering and soldering it over on a different workbench right now. Alright, so let me go over there and solder it. I'll be right back. Okay, that's all soldered in. New bulbs. I gotta do that to the big board, but that's this was also cosmetic, but I want to be able to see it. The other ones I can do off camera when I'm done recording this deal. Alright, so let's take this tab, we'll put it right there. This tab, we'll put it right there. We'll slide that down here. I still got to mount that the transformer still. Put this one right here. Alright, now this output VDR board, they call it, since it is going across the fence and ground, it will lower that voltage down a little bit. We were getting 10,000 plus volts out of it before. I don't know, and I've never used this transformer inside of one of these things before, so we'll see what kind of voltage we get here. But you do lose some because it is going across the terminal, so it does add some resistance to it. Alright, it's flashing. Not much difference, still 10,000 plus. Let's use let's find a digital meter and see if that reads on it. We'll use this Gallagher fault finder. We'll go ground probe on the ground side, fence terminal on the fence side, 11,000 volts. Okay, I think it's working fine now. So let's see if I can spark this thing a throw. Oh yeah. So it's working great now. So, and the green bulbs are lighting up. I thought they are kind of burned out, but you can still see them. So now I got to figure out how to mount this transformer so it stays in place. Because if it ever goes bad, I don't really want a permanent mount in here, because I want to be able to take it out. If the transformer goes bad, I want to be able to remove it without much fuss. So what I'm going to do is I've got two options. I'm probably going to do a mix of I've got this goopy glue looking stuff that we use from Loctite. It's waterproof, I think, as well, which I shouldn't have to worry about this because I shouldn't have this outside anyways. But it's really tacky stuff. I like it. I use it on all kinds of things. It works really good. Doesn't take much. Let's put a strip across like this. Take this, slide it in there where we want it, and then I'll press it into place. And then by tomorrow, that stuff will be hard as a rock, and we'll lock this, basically keep that transformer from moving around. But it'll be, if it ever has to get popped out of there for some dumb reason, we can get a screwdriver or anything, and break it up and pop it out of there. But hopefully, we won't have to do that anytime soon. Transformers by the Parmak are pretty reliable. They don't seem to go bad very often. Plus, this transformer is made for a bigger unit, joule-wise, so it probably should last quite some time. I'll put that back on there. Wasn't a double-sided foam, but let's skip that. Still the other way. I'll just use that sticky stuff instead. So yeah, this one's working fine now, working like it's supposed to. So if this had went back to Gallagher, they would have told you, sorry, bud. Whoops, you got to buy a new. You got to buy a new fence charger, or dealer. If you take it to a dealer to try to work on it, you can't. Like I said, they don't make transformers for this anymore, so you're basically stuck having to buy a new fence charger because they won't do what we do. working. It doesn't show up flashing every time in the camera, but in person it's flashing every single time. So it must be a frame rate thing or something, but it is flashing every single time. Just gotta get a little closer for it to see it, I guess. Hot tamale. Alright, well that's it for this little video. Until next time, we'll see you guys later on.